So this video is going to have spoilers for things that haven't happened in the manga yet that have been revealed because of the trailer for the new movie. So if you don't want to know what's going to happen, don't watch it. So back in chapter 303 in the post-war, Endeavor is talking to Hawks in the hospital, and they're, basically discussing the chaos that's going on as a result of the war. With the League escaping, along with some of the Liberation Army and the Nomus, the 10,000 convicts that are loose because of all of the prison breaks, because of All for One, and then on top of all of that, they're short-handed on heroes now too, which leads to Hawks revealing that the government has put in requests for relief workers and heroes from around the world. But with the Safety Commission essentially shut down, the paperwork needed to dispatch heroes isn't getting done. So what that basically means is not right now, but eventually they're going to get some help from international heroes. And in this panel, we see 5 of them silhouetted. So at the time of this chapter's release, I was only really able to identify one of them, and that was Electoplant. But since then, we've gotten more information on the possible identities of these characters, and most of that is coming from the new movie's trailer, as well as the detail on some of the characters released on it. So that's what I want to go over. Let me also say that this is 90% confirming these characters. So first we'll go over Electoplant. So this guy is coming from America, and we actually first saw him at the beginning of the Two Heroes movie. Let me also mention that this guy is probably in his 50s, I think, because in that sequence in the beginning of the Two Heroes movie, we see young All Might, who I'm assuming is got to be 19, 20, 21 around that time maybe. And considering that All Might is now, somewhere in his 50s, I guess Electoplant kind of has to at the minimum as well, right? Not even that it matters all that much, because age isn't really that significant in battle manga. And like we said, All Might was in his 50s, and I think Endeavor right now is in his 40s. Just something to take note of. So his quirk is called Electricity Generation, and I'm assuming that this is just a stable version of Kaminari's quirk. I mean, we know more about Kaminari's quirk since we've had more time with him, and we don't know the nuances of Electoplant's quirk yet, but I'm assuming it's got to be something like that. At the minimum, he's able to shoot electricity from his hands, I guess. So the hero next to Electoplant is probably going to be this hero. In my opinion, the silhouette is pretty much matching up with this, and this hero's name is Big Red Dot, a pro hero from Singapore. He loves the bak kut teh soup, which is Singaporean cuisine. His quirk allows him to release a large amount of water from his mouth, which is called Big Wave. The water also comes involuntarily when he sees something he likes. Alright, I hope that doesn't become his identity. But based off of this, I'm on board with this character. It has a unique yet familiar design, and I think there should be more aquatic heroes anyway. Not purely just for their functionality, but maybe just for their synergy with the other heroes. I could see him working well with someone like Suyu. First, this video is sponsored by the Listen But Don't podcast. Here's a clip from the show. Check it out.
You gotta watch that movie. It's
what movie?
It's the what do they call it? The biopic of the Temptations.
Of what?
The group, the Temptations.
Oh, I don't know who they are.
Yeah, you do.
What do they sing?
You know who the Temptations are.
No.
Everybody knows who the Temptations are.
Who are they? Are they a soul group?
The Temptations, man. The Temptations.
I don't know.
The Temptations.
No.
The Temptations.
Don't know.
David Ruffin.
Who the is David Ruffin? David Stuffin, they might as well call it. He's stuffed like a turkey, that little hit me!
With what? With what? Because I'm on the movie sound.
Whatever the is appropriate.
I'm on the movie sound bank. I'm not on the
Look at this. Look at this
sound
shit.
bank.
He
all right,
sucks.
fine. Here's something for you.
He's a whites-only pie.
There. Whenever you say something, I won't say that. Just
there
for
you go. That's
a horrible joke.
So if you'd like to check out the Listen But Don't podcast, the links will be in the description. Thanks again. So next to Big Red Dot is Salaam, or I think that's how you pronounce their name. Sorry if I got it wrong. A pro hero who protects Egypt. He has a strange aura that makes the Egypt citizens feel at ease when they see him fight. But to this day, no one has ever seen his back. Alright, I guess he's the Katakuri of my hero. His quirk, Papyrus, makes his body thin and flexible like paper. Okay, so that's a pretty cool quirk. It also gives him the excuse to have the aesthetic of a hieroglyph. But I could see that being a pretty good quirk. It's kind of similar to Edge Shots, although it doesn't seem as nearly as lethal as his, although I guess he can like wrap around your face, which would be terrifying. I mean, he's a hero. He's obviously not going to kill you, but, you know, he could just put you to sleep that way. So next to him, we have a hero that we actually also saw in the Two Heroes movie, although their appearance was more of like a cameo. He wasn't nearly given the spotlight that Electoplant was. But this hero is called Nyikang, sorry if I'm saying that wrong too. And this hero is coming from Sudan, and their quirk is called Spirit Possession, and it allows him to convert his consciousness into spiritual energy, which he can send towards a target to possess them. So we still need more information on this quirk, which I guess we'll get eventually, but this sounds pretty powerful at first. Now, the more information I was talking about is like, can they possess like a person, a being, or an inanimate object, or both? Like, imagine if he just straight up possessed All For One. That would be game over, right? But I also wouldn't be surprised if All For One was just like so strong that he could like mentally brute force through it or something. But even going to like a lesser degree with Gigantomachia, that would be insane. So I just don't know the full capabilities of this guy yet, but he already probably has the most intriguing power set of all these characters revealed so far. And considering that it's almost guaranteed that he's going to show up later, I'm assuming that we're going to see this quirk used for sure. But unfortunately, that's where the reveals are going to come to an end, because we still don't have any information on this guy in the front. And yeah, I know, he's the one that we probably all want to know the most about, because he seems to have the most intriguing silhouette. I mean, just his design, but also considering he's in the front, which usually insinuates that this character could be the most capable, the most well-known, or just flat out the most powerful. And since he's the most under wraps at this point, one of those is probably true. One thing that we could possibly take away is that I'm guessing he's not going to be coming from one of the countries that the rest of those heroes are. So knock 4 off of hundreds or thousands of possibilities. So now that we have a rough idea of what's going on with these guys, when are they going to show up? Well, since we are in the final act of the series, and it appears that the Dark Deku, Rogue Deku, whatever it's going to be called, that arc that we're currently in is coming to an end. I'm guessing after that, things are probably going to move pretty fast, and we're going to go into like the final war arc, which it seems it's going to be, depending on the direction that Horikoshi wants to go in. That's when these guys are going to come into the picture, because, you know, I'm assuming we're going to have like the good guys all come together, the bad guys all come together, kind of like how we did before. And depending on how soon Horikoshi wants to implement these guys, it could be a couple chapters before and we get acquainted with them, or they just show up on the day of the battle, like Lord of the Rings style, just, you know, coming at the very end, and then we get maybe a quick expository panel on them, maybe. I don't know, but let me know what you think about these guys in the comments. What do you think's going on with the guy in the front? Let me know. And if you liked the video, guys, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.